one person, then it led to 4 people. And I'm like, okay, 21, it's our boarding group. Manager's nowhere to be found. So we're like, I'm looking at my wife. I was like, can we board? Like, like, are we good to go? Everybody's boarding. I already kind of knew what it was, like, immediately. And I'm burning, like, on the inside. I'm like, I already kind of know what this is. But my wife, she's just like, at this point, she's like flustered. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, damn, we're not going to go on the cruise. We're not going to get on the cruise. In my head, I'm like, we're probably not, because I know what this is. Immediately, I knew, right? From the start, from the jump, I already knew it was 100% because of, all right, y'all, I need to talk about what happened at the cruise port, because I still don't know how to feel about it and really what I should do about it, if anything. So I need your advice. So to give you guys context, me and my wife, my daughters just came back from our first cruise, right? First cruise ever. And it was a Disney cruise. So we decided to take, a pre-tax season vacation to, before I get crazy busy with tax season. And, we went on a cruise and, paid for everything up front, was really, really excited about this cruise. And we flew into, Port Canaveral, and, in Florida. And, we stayed the night before, really excited about it. I was going to document the entire thing, and I did document the entire thing, and was really, really excited about this. So the day, we stayed the night at the hotel, ended up going to the actual port where we're actually going to be getting on the cruise ship the next day. And literally some unexpected stuff just happened. So give you guys some context. When going on a cruise, right, you need to have especially we were going to the Bahamas, right? You have to have a passport, or if it's just for the Bahamas, you could just have your, a license and your birth certificate. So all these documents need to be uploaded prior to you obviously getting to the port. So my wife already did her due diligence and things were accepted, right? She uploaded every one of our birth certificates. She uploaded every one of our licenses, and she uploaded everything that we needed, and things were approved online. So when we get to the port, everybody's checking in, right? So they check in, wife's good. Oop, daughter, she's good. Daughter, she's good. Then you get to mine. They look at my birth certificate, look at me, look at my birth certificate, look at me. Maybe not like that, but then they looked at my ID, and then she talked to whoever who was calling people, and then next thing you know, it's like it was one person, then it led to 4 people hop in, then it's 4 people in line. I'm like, okay. Then one person calls another person calls another person. And there's 4 different people over here, and then I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, like, what's going on? Like, was our reservation? Like, I've been out of the country before. I've been like I lived in Nigeria. Like I've been out of the country. I went to Punta Cana. Like, so I've been out of the country before. It's not a first time of me outside of the country. My passport just recently expired, so I didn't have an up-to-date passport, but it didn't matter. None of my kids or my wife had a passport, so the issue wasn't that. It was something along the lines of the fact that, there was just something, there was an issue, a mystery issue that literally they said that they didn't know, they didn't know what it was, right? So I'm like, what's going on? And pretty much what they said was that they needed to verify with the people upstairs, I guess my identification for whatever the case may be. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm clean. Hey, you ain't gonna find nothing, right? So then there's like, they call these people, and it's like, well, you can go upstairs into the port, right? Where it's like there's a waiting area before you actually get on to the cruise ship. And then, we'll go, everything you go meet with the manager. I think it was her manager. You go meet with her, which it will move from the person who was letting us in to her manager. She said, I'll meet you upstairs and we could talk about it. Okay. He was like, all right, fine. So we get in, checked in, walk us through. They check all our bag, all that stuff. So we get in there, and we get up there. She was like, well, you could just go have, pretty much she said that they're still waiting on the people from upstairs. So I guess we're upstairs, but they still got to go check people from upstairs about like what's going on. So just go have a seat. Okay. Now, mind you, our boarding time was we were supposed to board. We were the 21st group out of, I think, 30. Okay, so we decide, we go sit down, and it's like, it'll be all right, right? And we got kids, like this girl Zoe was so antsy, like she just wanted to get onto the cruise ship. So we're in there, and she's just fussing. She's ready to go, and there's people already waiting in line. People already boarding. So I'm like, dang, we can't even get in line to get on the cruise ship. I was excited about that, but now we have to just go wait. So we start waiting, and of course, they decide to shut down all of the boarding. They decided to shut off all the boarding, and it was because there was a lot of wind, right? So they decided to stop letting people board, and I don't even know at what time this was, as far as like the boarding groups, but they pretty much stopped all people from boarding because for some reason they had to, because of the wind, they decided not to let anybody else on the ship. And then there was some stiff issues that were going on with the Wi-Fi and internet, so they don't have access to some things, is what they said. So now, not are we just waiting? Everybody else that was waiting to get on the cruise is now waiting. So I think about an hour goes by, and they finally start allowing people to get on the cruise trip. And they started calling all the boarding groups. And mind you, we still haven't gotten an update. My wife has gone, looked for the lady, and she says, we don't have anything right now. We're still waiting on the people from upstairs, and we're still waiting. And because of the whole wind thing, I guess they lost access to connection, so they can't actually verify my identification, is what they said. So like, we just don't have any answers. So she went back to the front desk. They said, we're still waiting. And her exact word was that, from that manager, was, when I know, you'll know. Whatever the heck that means. I don't know what that means. So we go back and sit down, and then they start letting board group 21 board, and there's multiple boards before us, right? We were 21. There's multiple groups, right? 10, 15, 20. Then I'm like, okay, 21, it's our boarding group. Manager's nowhere to be found. So we're like, I'm looking at my wife. I was like, can we board? Like, are we good to go? Everybody's boarding. And time goes by, boarding group 25, 26, 27, all the way till everybody in the, like, I'm talking about, there was probably 5,000, 4,000, 5,000 people on this cruise. There's nobody left in the port area waiting to get on the ship but us, and we still have zero answers on what is going on and why we can't get on the cruise ship. So we're sitting there, and at this point, like, we're just like, in my head, I'm like, I already kind of knew what it was, like, immediately, and I'm burning, like, on the inside. I'm like, I already kind of know what this is. But my wife, she's just like, at this point, she's like flustered. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, damn, we're not gonna go on the cruise. We're not gonna get on the cruise. In my head, I'm like, we're probably not, because I know what this is. And immediately I knew, right from the start, from the jump, I already knew, and it was 100% because of my name. 100% because of my name. Because my name, if you guys don't know, is Ibrahim Ahmed Oluwasegun Muhammad. Okay, that's exactly what it says on my birth certificate. It's exactly what's going to say on my license. I immediately knew that because of my name was the reason why they decided that they wanted to do some additional searching, or whatever the case may be, to make sure that everything was safe going on to the cruise ship. Which is not discrimination, but the way they went about it was completely unprofessional, and I think something should be done about it. Okay, so now, still, everybody's boarded the ship, and we're still waiting there with no answers until they finally see my wife. My wife is, at this point, bawling her eyes out, crying, because we didn't flew all the way from Ohio to Florida to wait here just to realize that we don't have anywhere to stay. We're gonna have to get a hotel. We're already thinking in our mind that we're not getting on the cruise ship, because at this point we would have been on the cruise ship. Everybody else is on the cruise ship. The cruise ship might end up leaving us, right? So we're sitting there like what is going on? Like, and then my wife is bawling her eyes out, jacking up her makeup, and it's now the people who are standing in line that were that were guiding everybody onto the cruise ship. This one gentleman actually came by and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, why haven't you gone?" And now we have to re-explain to him This manager is nowhere to be found on, talking about when when I know, she's nowhere to be found. So we're like, we literally did this. They said they were going to come back. We haven't got any information. Like, what's going on? Still nothing. Like, nobody knows what's going on. And we're like, what is the issue? Again, I in my mind, I already knew what the issue was. So finally, another manager comes, and and after, like, I don't even know how much longer, another 30 to 45 minutes. Like, at this point, I'm not even keeping track of time. It was forever. Another manager comes and says, "Hey, you can go ahead and check them in." Right after, and the first manager is nowhere to be found. And until the other manager came and said, "Hey, go ahead and get them checked in." After my wife bawling her eyes out and we not getting any answers, and us showing our frustration, we now see the one manager come out of the room and literally go the opposite direction. Doesn't acknowledge us. Doesn't let us know, "Hey." Like, she literally, it was the most unprofessional thing that I saw. And in my head, I see Disney as a first class organization, but the way what they showed me during this experience was complete unprofessionalism. And from there, they finally check us in. And on top, like, it just was more and more thing. Now there's a new person trying to check us in, looking for our information, getting a second look on it again. And I'm just like, how much more verification do you need? Like, there's not much more verification you need, to find it matches. Nothing is different from my birth certificate to my license. And we're still waiting, sitting there trying to check in, and I'm still not confident that we're gonna get in. And then finally they said, "Okay, here's your ticket, here's your boarding pass," and they let us go. And at this point, everybody's just frustrated. And now, she says, well, the lady at the front desk says, "Okay, I'm going to personally walk you through. We don't know. We're not, they don't know. They don't tell us what's going on. We just, like, it's from the people up above, whoever the people up above are, and still nobody knows." And we had to ask direct, like, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. And it was until the final end where we're actually asking, like, what was going on? Like, now you're letting us in. Okay, what was the issue? And it turns out they said that it was the Coast Guards wanted some more verification. It's out of their hands. The Coast Guards just wanted some more information. Long story short, they finally walk us through to get on the ship. And this is the most disappointing part, because we watch a lot of videos on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok about how they welcome in families, families onto the cruise ship. And we get on, and how it goes is you get on the cruise ship, and they're like, "Welcome to the Smith family," and they welcome the Smith family, and they clap them up. "Welcome, the Williams family," and they welcome up. I had my camera ready, documented, excited to be able to get that world class experience where we get on the ship, and they say, "Welcome to the Muhammad family." We walk on the ship, literally, there's nobody there. Like, we walk on the ship, there's no parade, there's nobody clapping us in. Like, everybody's in their room, everybody's eating, everybody's eating at the buffet, everybody's already at the pool. We're the last people getting on the ship, and we just had that first day was just miserable. Like, it was just so sad. It was hard to get excited about creating content. It was hard to get excited about having the best experience for my daughters and giving them that just a dream come true. Even for my wife, like, my wife looked forward to this. All she thought about was this trip. And they just said that, we're going to try our best to make it worth, make up for, the waiting time after, you cried your eyes out and had to wait hours before we let you in. And it was just, the day one was just sad. Then we get to the buffet line. The buffet line is crazy long. We have to wait 30 minutes just to get some food. Lines are literally out the water. And we get up to, nobody tells us where we go. I was like, "Do we go up to the room?" I was like, okay, I guess we go up to the room. And key cards are at the room. We get into the room, and it was a very just sad day. And a couple of days later, they decided that, hey, they're gonna, they were gonna make up for it. So you want to know how they made up for it? They decided to leave a doll for one of my daughters, right, for Zoe. They put a doll on and they had a note. That was it, a doll. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I'm still like thinking about it and like going back, and I'm like, I don't know how I should feel about this, and should I do something? So I'm just curious. Has anybody ever experienced this? Like, what would you guys do in this situation? I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section below. Like, what would, if this happened to you? Like, how would you interpret this? Like, because for me, I've just been at a loss of words, and I was expecting something magical from Disney, and we kind of was missing that magical, the experience that we really wanted. So let me know in the comment section below.